It's the British Columbia Football Conference. We are talking to recently anointed Kamloops Broncos head coach Rob Ellis. Rob, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
So first thing, we're in Kelowna, not in Kamloops. What brings you to Kelowna?
Helping out with the ABC Border Bowl, one of the OCs for the OC for the Rising Stars. So helping them with recruiting and tryouts. We're in Kelowna today. They'll be in Kamloops tomorrow.
Tell us about the Border Bowl. Exactly what is it for people that don't know?
Border Bowl is run by Ron Diaz. It's has competitors from Alberta and BC that play against each other in a Border Bowl type setting like they do in North Dakota and South Dakota. So just basically we get representatives from the province, from both provinces, and we compete on in May for in 5 different age groups.
So let's just step back, refresh our memory. When did you come on as the Broncos head coach?
This year, just after a meeting in January, I expressed my interest and was lucky enough to be offered the position.
And you've mentioned this year, this is your second go around as Broncos head man. Just refresh everybody's memory, what the last time was, how long, that sort of thing.
10 years ago, actually, a decade ago. So back then, Brad Yamoka, who's the former head coach, was one of my coaches on staff, and we had a really good run. Stephen Reed was there my first year. I took on the offensive coordinator job and then took the head coaching position right after that, and we had some success. And unfortunately, because of back issues, I had to step down from that until things healed, and I got the okay from my wife to do it again.
So your back's healthy, but you're a little grayer now than you were 10 years ago.
Oh, geez, looking at that old video footage, yeah, a little older. Yeah, I don't know if I have less hair, but yeah.
But wiser.
Sorry?
But wiser.
But wiser, yeah. Well, some people would argue that fact, but.
So just tell everybody who you are. You're the high school principal.
I'm a elementary principal in Armstrong. Okay. It's my 20th year in this SD 83. 32nd year coaching. I feel a little old. 2 of the head coaches of the other junior programs are former players of mine, so I've done this for quite a while. I'm looking forward to continuing it this year.
So you're making the commute from Armstrong to Kamloops. That is a long drive every day.
Yeah, I live in Salmon Arm actually. So working in Armstrong, I get home now. As long as I walk the dogs, the wife's okay with it. So I love the sport and I love the junior programs and the junior league. Like I've said, I've been part of it since 1982, I believe. So off and on. So I'm looking forward to another stint at the head coaching position.
Just kind of telling the story to players and parents from players in the prairies you will be recruiting. Probably in a different dynamic than what they're used to in a smaller city where everybody is so close together, or even a larger city where they live 20 minutes apart. To see this dedication from a high school football coach, a junior football coach, as much out of necessity as anything, because there's not a lot of football in Kamloops anymore.
No, the football in Kamloops used to be huge. I mean, most of the Sun's success back in the 80s and probably early 90s was because of the Kamloops kids that went to play for them. But we're down to 1 varsity program, I believe. So recruiting is one of our top jobs right now to get our the word out there that we've got lots of space open, that we're competitive, we want to stay competitive. We always refer back to, we lost to Langley by 5 points in our last game against them. So right now we just need to get our name back out there and make sure that kids find us as a viable option for their junior career.
So let's talk about the Broncos more. You're inheriting an 0-10 team, yeah, but a team that was more often than not competitive last season. What is your goal this year? Is it one of, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but just what are you hoping to accomplish?
I think what we're trying to accomplish is stability in the program and some success. I mean, we set our goals as SMART goals so that we're not going to win the BCFC this year, but we do want to stay competitive and we do want to win some games. And I think in order to do that, we need to keep our base the way it is. We're one of the youngest teams in the BCFC. I think we average 19 years of age, so keeping that core players in the program, making sure that we're bringing in peripheral players to support them is probably our biggest thing. So the viability of our program needs to be out there.
I was up at the Broncos annual general meeting on Wednesday, and we talked briefly about that, the idea not an idea, it's a fact that only one of the 6 teams in British Columbia is going to win a championship, and only one of the 18 or 19 teams across the country is going to win a championship.
That's right.
So I'm gathering you're going to be going after the type of player that wants to build as a junior football player rather than maybe somebody that's looking to win a championship.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that we can offer that maybe the other programs can't be is the ability to start right away or get significant playing time as an 18, 19-year-old, just for the fact that we're so young already. So that's one great thing that we can offer kids. And the other two are, we have a huge trade school, and we work hand in hand with TRU, right, to offer those student athletes an education also. So building that recruiting portfolio is number one on our list of things to do, and getting the people involved in that. We have 2 people that's what they're focusing on right now. And that's already played dividends. We've already had some interest from the Prairies and from back east. So, yeah.
So you're coaching a bit of a rebuilding junior football team, but one area that you play second fiddle to no one is Hillside Stadium in Kamloops.
Yeah. No, nobody can outdo our facilities in Kamloops. I mean, the stadium itself is amazing, but the change rooms, the weight rooms, all the meeting rooms that we have to offer, is second to none. I think every team in the league would admit to that our facilities are pretty spectacular. And if you've ever been to one of our games, our night games at the stadium, there's no better venue. So yeah, no, that's one thing that we can really push.
And then Kamloops in itself, it's a small city. Am I wrong? Under 100,000 people. Or
yeah, it's around 50,000, I believe.
So for a player relocating from Ontario or the Prairies, it's kind of a neat, small town, big town feel, and a nice way to keep the team tight.
Yeah, it is. It's got lots of amenities in town that they would find in the bigger cities, but it's also smaller in the fact that everybody pretty much knows a lot of the key players in the city too. So we work hand in hand with the Blazers, and they're key supporters of us, and having a junior hockey team there too is amazing. So the kids, there's lots of things for the kids to do, players to do, and again with TRU and the trade school right there, lots of education for them to take part in.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your coaching staff. Who do you have on tap, and what areas you're looking for?
Offensively, we're great. We've got Jeremy White returning as the OC, and we've got a couple other coaches that are coming back. Brad Yamoka being one of them. That's going to be doing our running backs and our special teams. So really happy with that. And Joe Liberté is going to be our associate head coach, and he's going to also run the O-line. Defensively, we're still building that staff. So we've got 4 coaches already in place. We're looking at 2 more and waiting to designate a DC. So that's our key focus for coach recruiting right now.
Really interesting to have Brad Yamoka back on staff. He was the former head coach. Tell us about that. Brad's a very well-liked man.
Yeah, Brad's a great guy. I've actually known Brad since 1996 when I coached him at UBC with Mark Norris. So it's like I said, I'm getting long in the tooth when I have stories like that. But Brad is key to getting players back. He's well liked amongst the coaches, and he's one of my best friends. So having him on staff is huge, and I think the kids will be really excited once they hear that news too.
He is well known for having the ability to grow one of the quickest and best beards in the BCFC. Are you up to the task?
I have a problem growing hair as it is, but I'll do anything it takes to make him happy, and make the do what's best for the team. And growing a beard, I'm already halfway there. So.
So thank you for doing this, Rob. Let's just pretend you're sitting down in the living room. I'm a dad or a mom of a player that you're looking to recruit. What would you say to me thinking about sending their son halfway across the country to play for you in Kamloops?
Right. Well, I mean, the key thing is that we're family first, right? And we're education also. So we take good care of our players. We make sure that they have everything they need. We got the best medical facility and support staff in the league, I believe, with our own registered nurse too. So, I mean, all the health cares are taken care of, the education's taken care of, and the coaching staff, I believe, is one of the best I've worked with already. So kids are going to get taught, players are going to get taught and coached very well, and they're going to be well taken care of, and they're going to enjoy a beautiful venue too. So,
thanks for doing this, Coach, and good luck. We're looking forward to seeing you this year.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.